You know, when I think about the Clippers and I think about the opportunity that they have in front of them, and I think about, all the pieces they have on their team and how deep they are, the depth and the coach, Ty Lue, the superstar in Kawhi and PG, along with the other superstar, still revered, as in Russell Westbrook, I feel like, they're definitely a team that can win it all. But in order for them to do it, they got to find a way to do one thing. They got to find a way to break this curse. And, there's always been that notion around the Clippers in regards to their team and the organization that they're cursed by and they're snake bitten by, bad things happening to them at unopportune times that hinders them from winning or going up that successful ladder, which is winning a championship. Now, of course, the Clippers this year, as I said, they got all the opportunity in the world. And, with the West being as wide open as it is, and every game counts right now for them in regards to getting into playoffs or sustaining a playoff spot in which they're currently in. But at the same time, with them, it's health over everything. As you hear me say in my videos all the time about the Clippers, because Kawhi and PG, they just can't seem to stay healthy. And, of course, you got tonight's game, against the Grizzlies once again. You hope that Kawhi Leonard's available, but it did say personal reasons why he was out. We do hope that's actually really the case, because we've known the Clippers to actually put out reports, but that wasn't exactly true. I remember a couple seasons ago when Kawhi was out in the playoffs, they would never say that he was out the whole playoffs. They kept saying that he was out day to day, but really they probably knew the whole time that he was going to be out the remainder of the playoffs. So it's like we hope everything is good with Kawhi Leonard, because without him, you definitely can't win a championship, I don't believe. And then on top of that, without PG, it's going to be even very difficult and tough to win a championship. So, the fact that Kawhi and PG, the two main guys, have been probably the most injured players on the team, it's really hard to build that continuity and take it up a notch and turn it up to another level and win a championship, even though they have the wisdom of Ty Lue when he decides to use it at times. But that's just not good enough when you don't have the main guys out there. So, the Clippers are going to really, they really have to kind of figure this thing out. But then I know they're trying to figure it out, and adding Russell Westbrook is definitely a wild card. But if Russell Westbrook's gonna give you games like the way he played against Memphis, you're good. And I'm not talking about that in regards to the scoring, because he's not going to score 36 points every night, but I'm talking about if he can give you close to double digit assists along with 2 to 3 turnovers in a game. If he can give you that and give you about 12 to 15 points, then you're looking good. That's a very good recipe for success with all the other players that the Clippers have. Norman Powell, who's a walking bucket, Bones Highland's really starting to get, his rhythm a little bit. And I like the fact that I'm seeing him in there with Terrence Mann, because I think both of them feed off each other very well with their high energy and high motor. And then on top of that, if Kawhi and PG could stay healthy enough to stay on the floor, this team would not only be a formidable threat to win a championship, but they would really almost be unbeatable, because if they had a high end point guard like Russell Westbrook, who can give you almost double digit assists every game, and he gave you less turnovers, and he understood his role and really played it to perfection, which I think, Russell Westbrook is really down to do that, for this team. I really feel like, he respects this team, respects everybody on it, and I feel like they respect him back. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that goes a long way. And I also feel like the Clippers are making Russell Westbrook feel something that the Lakers didn't, which is they're making Russell Westbrook feel like he's wanted. And when a player feels like he's wanted, he's going to go out. He's going to go all out for you and do everything that you ask plus more. And I feel like Russell Westbrook is up for the challenge. And I like the fact that he's up for the challenge, because I think he might actually maybe not exceed expectations, but he really might live up to the expectations of what this team has for itself prior to him getting there, and the fact that he's there now, which is to win a championship. So, I would like to see that. That would be great. To see these three players come together coincidentally and win a championship, because technically this is kind of sort of like a big three that really wasn't agreeable upon all three players. You see what I'm saying? Because we heard that Russ, wanted to team with Kawhi. That call didn't happen. And then he picks up Paul George. And then, things happen with John Wall. He was a bust. And then they go and get Russell Westbrook off of a, buyout situation. And then if that turns into a championship, I mean, that would be like all-time history type stuff. So, I mean, I would like to see that happen, because, I mean, Russ definitely needs a championship. I feel like that'll solidify his career a lot more, even though he is a Hall of Famer. And I think, Paul George can definitely, use a championship for his career, because, he's been around the league a long time. He's been one of the top 10 players in the league, but he's never really been looked at as a guy, as a winner, because first, second round is pretty much where he's been at most of his career, going in and out the playoffs. But he's still a great player in his own right, and I think he deserves one. And of course, I definitely want to see Kawhi get one. That's my guy always. I feel like he definitely needs to get that third ring, and maybe even add another to it if he can, and another after that. Doesn't matter, but he definitely needs to get this third ring, especially with the Clippers, because he's been with this team for the last few years, and the Clippers definitely has had opportunities to win, whether Kawhi goes out or PG is out, or they're just not playing up to the expectation, which they did in the bubble. It's always been a problem with this team. So that curse, they're going to have to get off their back, and they're going to have to get it off it soon, because like I said, this is the year for them to do it. And I really feel like they can. And adding Russell Westbrook, it's a hit or miss situation. I can tell you that now, because he's going to have really good games. He's going to have really poor games. But at the same time, Ty Lue, I feel like he knows how to manage Russell Westbrook. I feel like he knows if he sees Russell Westbrook playing out of sorts and not the way he's supposed to, he'll just sit him and put Terrence Mann in, and then they'll rotate between him and Bones Highland, and they'll finish games out that way, because they'll still have somebody who can push the pace between both of those players, and they'll have a better situation, because if they had to sub Russ out for any reason because he's not playing up to expectation a certain game in the playoffs or whatever the game may be, like I said, they still got Bones or Terrence Mann that can go out there and push the pace, but they also could shoot threes better, so they can also stretch the floor a lot better than Russell Westbrook, because I don't think he's going to go 5 for 5 from threes again. So, like I said, when you look at it from that perspective, I mean, the Clippers have everything they need, but like I said, they need their 2-star players to be available, and availability is going to be huge for them, especially, with considering their situation. Availability has been a huge issue for them, in the past, few years they've been actually put together. So, hopefully this is the year. Hopefully they find a way to do it, but hey, only time will tell. Got to find a way to get into the playoffs and sustain that spot before you do anything. And then you go from there.